What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're once again here back with another Blazers rebuild. The last one we did, of course, was immediately after they traded for Jrue Holiday, but of course we all know they made a very perplexing, if I could say the word, perplexing pick on draft night with Hansen after taking him 16th overall. Obviously, as I'm recording this, he has now played 2 Summer League games. Let me just say, the man is a lot of fun, so I thought it was only right and warranted now that we go ahead and jump in and do a Blazers rebuild after they, of course, drafted Hansen with the 16th overall pick in the draft. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 50,000 subs. If you want to help us reach that goal, that would be absolutely amazing. So yeah, like I said, the Blazers trade down from 11 to 16. They pick up a future first round pick via Orlando in a couple of seconds, and of course they get at pick 16, and you're like, what are we about to do? And the Blazers draft Hansen with the 16th overall pick, which at the time was kind of interesting because he was like projected to be like a 2nd round pick, but then there's been like talk that maybe someone was going to take him in the teens, and that's why the Blazers did it. I have no idea, but all we know now is we've seen him play a couple games, we've seen him, in interviews, and he's a fun player, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be like going forward, I will say. So overall, was it weird on draft night to take him? Yes, but the upside that he could become something is definitely intriguing. So we're going to try to make him pop out as much as possible in this video. I don't know what his progressions are in this draft. I have not looked at it, nor am I going to mess with it. I want it to be kind of a surprise on how good this guy is going to be. I'm going to develop him as much as possible, get him minutes immediately, and everything I can. Now, while I'm recording this, by the way, the Blazers technically do have another roster spot they need to fill. I have no idea what they plan on doing with it, whether it's just like, I don't know, like upgrading one of the G League guy or the two-way guys to a roster spot, or does some random trade come out of nowhere. That'll be interesting to see if something does happen. But for now, as I'm recording this, that's what kind of the status of the Blazers right now is. So technically, they do need to sign like another player. So I'm not really sure who they plan on signing. But I guess if there was one thing, like I'm just probably going to let them sign whatever, because I feel like we kind of have a rotation anyway. So Jrue Holiday's down 2 overall. Shaedon Sharpe's up to an 84. Scoot's up to an 83. Klingon up to an 82. Chris Murray 75. And Grant is an 80. So I did just release a roster update or a share scenario update where some of the guys that would regress like crazy, I did fix. So like Paul George doesn't regress down to like a 79 anymore. Like Norman Powell doesn't regress like crazy. I already had kind of Caruso fixed, but yeah, there's just some other players that aren't going to regress as much as they should be. LeBron and Luka are still regressing for some reason, but I'm sure that'll kind of level it out. But that's kind of what I did in my most recent update if you have it downloaded. So let's go into next season and let's see what the rotation is going to look like and how on earth are we going to get Hansen some minutes. Well, I'm about to show you. We're going to make it happen. So here's what the rotation is currently looking like. We have Jrue Holiday, Shaedon Sharpe, Tamani Kamara, Deni Avdija, and Donovan Klingon. I think it's safe to say Klingon, Avdija, and Kamara should probably all start. It's going to be kind of interesting to see what the Blazers do with the guards. I think Jrue Holiday is going to end up starting, whether or not Blazers fans like it or not. I do think he will end up starting. So is it Sharpe or is it Scoot coming off the bench? I have no idea, but I think I'm fine with Sharpe starting, and then just, well, Scoot's going to get plenty of minutes still off the bench, but that's kind of what we're going to roll with. It wouldn't surprise me if it was the other way around, where Scoot's starting. You could do whatever. We have Robert Williams right now, Jeremy Grant, Matisse Thybulle, and Chris Murray. So right away, we're not going to be able to get Young minutes, I will say. I think there's a good chance that Young maybe doesn't play immediately. Robert Williams is still here, but we need to get rid of Robert Williams as soon as possible. That way we can give Young the back of 5 minutes. Maybe the Blazers still trade Robert Williams this offseason. I have no idea, but that's the plan, is we need to get Young those minutes there. And then one other thing I want to do is I actually want to swap Chris Murray and Ryan Repair. I just feel way better about Ryan Repair's upside than I do Chris Murray at this point. So I think I'm going to swap those two. We'll see what that. It's funny that they signed Beverly to this team, but he's not going to play ever. So I'm going to skip, to however many days we possibly can. We're going to trade Robert Williams as soon as possible. I want to get Young minutes immediately. So it shouldn't be too far in the season. Let's say we go to like November 23rd and the Blazers are ready to give Young some minutes. I think that's going to be my plan. We're going to get him as many minutes as possible, as fast as possible. We may end up doing this trade with the Boston Celtics and sending Robert Williams back to Boston if the Celtics would accept this, and they do. So Robert Williams is now a Celtic again. So that's done. We get Georges Niang, who's not going to play much for us anyway. But honestly, the Blazers could use his shooting. I'm not going to lie. So maybe we find a way to get him to play, although I will say he's not playing super well right now for the Celtics. But now we've done what we set out to accomplish. So They have Grant starting now, which I'm not going to do. I know Grant's going to play, and there is a chance he does start in real life, but I'm not going to start him. I want Kamara and Avdia to still start. Scoot's now starting, and Drill always come off the bench. I'm cool with that, too. If Scoot and Sharp, Kamara, Avdia, and Klingon's starting 5, I'd be a happy camper. Grant, Thibault, and then again, we're going to swap some things around here. So first and foremost, let's get Ryan to repair these minutes, as I mentioned, and then we need to get Beverly out of the rotation entirely. That's not going to matter for us. And that's where we get this man some minutes. So we're going to swap him and Beverly. And I'm going to give him more minutes than just 8. Don't get me wrong here. So we're going to swap probably him and Thibault's minutes, really. So let's do that. So he's going to play like 15 minutes a night, give or take, maybe 16. Anybody else you should maybe get some more minutes over? No, I think 16 feels good. So we'll go 17 minutes a night for him to start out. And we'll see how he does with that role. So I'm going to simulate to the end of year 1. I fully expect to be a lottery team still, but as long as we're getting him some minutes, that's all I really cared about, and it looks like we've accomplished that. So we're going to keep it like that, and I will see you guys at the end of year number 1. We actually have one more thing to do before we get to the end of the season. We are at the trade deadline, and I'm going to go ahead and trade Jeremy Grant here. So we're going to be sending him over to the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies get themselves another interesting forward. The 15 points per game so far, 50%, 37% from 3. So he's playing decently well. We're not getting any draft pick compensation at all. We're just simply getting off his contracts. We get Konchar's contract, which isn't going to be as bad as Grant's to deal with. So yeah, I'm totally cool with that. KCP is an expiring, actually has a player option, which sucks. But at the end of the day, we're not going to be dealing with Jeremy Grant's 2027 $36 million player option. So I'm going to do this trade. He goes over to the Grizzlies, and now Drew Holiday, Sharp. I'm still going to go ahead and swap these two, though, and then the starting 5 still the same the way I want. And then again, we're going to fix, what I was wanting to do here. So we're going to fix this again. Thibault should be getting some minutes now, though, again. And then again, I'm going to go ahead and swap him and Repair. So that way Ryan Repair is playing. KCP, I guess, is going to be getting some minutes too now. And I think I'm going to swap, Young and Repair. Let's get him more minutes a night. So 21 minutes a night. Okay, let's continue simulating. Right now, we're only 22 and 29. So low-key, we do have an outside chance of making it into the play-in tournament, which would be cool if it did happen, but not expecting it. We'll see, though. So at the end of year 1, Shea wins MVP. Flag is Rookie of the Year. Josh Giddey's your 6th man in Detroit. So I guess he never went back to Chicago. So obviously he is still free agent in real life. So we're going to see how, what happens there if he does get a contract from the Bulls. But it sounds like they're far apart on numbers. So going to be interested to see how that all unfolds. And did we get Young on one of the rookie teams? I have to imagine we did. Yes, we did. So we did accomplish that. All rookie second team from him. Very fun, like I said, in the Summer League. Could he be the next Chinese Jokic? I know that's what everybody's saying. I mean, he does have some similar skills, but I wouldn't go that far just yet. If he does end up being even close to that, then the 16th overall pick was incredible value. So we had 22 points per game from Scoot, 20 from Denny Avdia, 19 from Shaden Sharp, 11 from Drew Holiday, 9 from Kamara, 8 from Hansen Young, and 6 and 9 from Klingon. So not too bad. And then I will say, by the way, I did extend Tamani Kamara and also Ryan Repair. Both of them were looking for extensions, and I felt it was best to go ahead and give it to them while it's cheaper. Repair is going to be making basically nothing. Like, he's going to be making $4 million and $5 million next year. So felt like an upside contract that we could take on, and we get to add another lottery pick to this team, which I think is good. So we have the Timberwolves and the Thunder. You got the Knicks and the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves going to beat the Knicks in 5 games. One thing I need to make sure I do right now, by the way, before I forget, let's turn autosave on so we don't, crash and burn and not have this foul anymore. So LeBron James is going to retire. Same thing with Kyle Lowry. But now it's time to see where we're projected in the lottery. So our projection is currently at the 8th overall, best odds, 6% chance. So I'm going to have to assume we do not get lucky. I don't think it's been a hot minute since I've been lucky in a Blazers video. Oh my gosh, no way I just said that, and that's what happened. Oh my goodness. Okay. Man, that feels scripted, but it did happen. You guys saw it with your own eyes. We just jumped up to the number 1 overall pick. Absolutely insane. Was not expecting that. Pretty wild. Staff signing, Chauncey Billups. I mean, he's on the last year of his deal. Do we get rid of him and go for... I mean, yeah, this would be a good time. You'd have to assume maybe the new owners are now on the Blazers too. You could go get somebody different. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. The Blazers set themselves with expectations of making the playoffs this year. That was not accomplished. But we do have the number 1 overall pick now, so that's beautiful. So I'm going to go for some of the top candidates and see if we can land one of them. So I think we might get Will Hardy guaranteed. And no, actually, we can sign all of them, I think. So which one do we want? Nick Nurse? I think we go... Let's go Nick Nurse. Why not? I don't think I've gotten Nick Nurse in a long time. I know I've gotten Joe Mazzulla lately. So Nick Nurse is now your Blazers head coach. It would have to be... I would have to assume the Blazers would have had to have gotten a really good owner for Nurse to choose to come here. But we have number 1, 4, and 8. So the fact we get to add the bands to this equation is pretty crazy. So let's go ahead and see what we get on draft night. We already know what we're going to do here. So we're going to be taking AJ DeBanza, no questions asked. So welcome to the Blazers, AJ DeBanza. And now we have an early second as well. So we'll try to do what we can with this one. We'll go Patrick Ngumbo just in case Young doesn't work out, which I'm going to make him work out in this video. So I don't even need to put that in the atmosphere. We can go to take catchings here as well with this other pick. So another BYU player as well. So definitely love that. So DeBanza, Ngumbo, and catchings. Love that. So we'll assign all of them to the active roster. Chris Murray, we are going to go ahead and decline in KCP accepts and then cling into Scoot. I just don't see Chris Murray being on the Blazers for that much longer. He's just not a good player, man. He's just not. He's not been good. Not even been remotely close to what his brother is. Now you have Caleb Love, Sidi Sissoko, and then Shaedon Sharp's the big one. So it is kind of interesting, though, that we won the number 1 overall pick because it kind of does low-key make Shaedon Sharp more expendable. And I hate to say that. I really do because I love Shaedon Sharp. So I'm going to extend the qualifying offer, but man, like we technically could roll with the starting 5 next year of Scoot, and then you could have Kamara at the 2, DeBanza at the 3, Avdia at the 4, and Klingon. I mean, that is speaking to me, but leaving Sharp out of that, definitely it hurts, man. I don't know if I can get there. So I think we'll bring him back, but there, you know, we wouldn't have to, is what I'm trying to say. Drew Holiday, I mean, we could keep him, which I think I'm going to. I don't really know how much he's going to regress, but I think he's going to stick around for another season. KCP is just here for the ride, and then Repair is the one that got kind of like and then Kamara, DeBanza, and then Avdia, and then Young and Klingon. So the only thing we need to really worry about, I guess, is bringing in a backup forward potentially, and then the Shaedon Sharp thing. So Shaedon Sharp, and then, yeah, we're not bringing any of these guys back. So let's go see if we can get some shooting maybe with the 4 spot. Like I said, ironically enough, we do have like Aaron Wiggins or Champagne, which I think Champagne is a pretty good shooter. In the 2K sim, 34 but 38 before that. Is there anybody else? I do think Champagne makes a lot of sense here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get him on this team. He's also on a very cheap contract. Again, you know, part of me thinks, you know, not re-signing Shaedon Sharp does somewhat make sense for what the lineup we could roll out next year. But man, I would feel so heartbroken if I did that. How much is he asking for, by the way? So he's asked for $38 million. So I think what we're gonna do is take this to the last day of free agency. I can't let Shaedon Sharp go. I just can't, man. I would feel horrible if I did. So I'm going to bring him back. So he's wanting $30 million a year. Do we let him come back in his qualifying offer? I mean, no. Let's just give him... Let's try to get him around like $25 million a year. I think I'd feel a little bit better about that if it's 25 rather than the good old what he was asked for. So he's going to be signed for like 25. So Sharp's up to an 87. So I think it's better that we kept him. Scoot Henderson 87, Klingon 84. Drew Holiday 84, so he's still fine. Young is up to a 77, which is great. Repair's up to a 76 as well. KCP and Conchar are down. No surprise there. So let's go look at this rotation, and I'll show you what I'm kind of thinking. But now that we have DeBanza on this team, the ceiling of this team is going to be kind of crazy. So I can't wait to see what it's going to look like going to year 2 and what we may have to deal with. So it looks like this is a rotation we're about to roll with next year. We got Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharp, DeBanza, Denny Avdia, Donovan Klingon, Drew Holiday, Tamana Kamara, Young, and Ryan Repair, and Champagne is your rotation going into next season. So can't wait to kind of see how this team's going to do. We're powering 13th overall, so it seems like 2K is higher on us. Our proficiency is a 4-star perimeter-centric. It could be a 3.5 balance, but I guess perimeter-centric would be better then. So that's what we'll roll with. Will we be a playoff team under Nick Nurse this year? That remains to be seen. I do think there's a chance that we are, but we're going to have to find out. I'll see you guys either at the trade deadline or at the end of year number 2. So at the end of year number 2, DeBanza does get Rookie of the Year. Now, unfortunately, we were 1 game or 2 away from being in the play-in tournament, so that did not work out. DeBanza does make All-Rookie First Team, so yeah, pretty disappointed by that. We were so close to being in the play-in. If we look at it, I don't know how many games exactly, but yeah, we're 1 game away from being in the play-in tournament, 38 and 44, so we're getting closer. So here were your stats. You had 21 from Scoot, 19 from Shaedon Sharp, 18 from DeBanza, 16 from Denny Avdia, 13 from Drew, 8 from Kamara, and 8 from Young with 5 rebounds still off the bench. So still doing his thing with a block as well. 7-9 from Klingon. So I did extend Klingon as well. Man, I feel like there's about to be a very tough decision that I'm about to make this offseason. I'm not going to lie to you. And we're going to have to see what it's going to look like. But we'll see. So we got the Dallas Mavericks. They're going to coast to the finals. They play the Hornets, and they're going to win. So Hornets, Mavericks beats them in 5. Here are your retirements. Conley retires in New Orleans. Vucevic retires a Bull. So we should be getting another lottery pick here. It's gonna 2K is gonna say it's going to the Bulls, but that is not true. So it's only 1% chance of jumping up. I can't imagine we get lucky twice in a row. Would be crazy. So yeah, with the 12th pick from them. So next year though, those Bucks picks start to come in play, and the Magic pick as well. That's gonna be interesting. But we need to get our pick back from the Bulls. So we need to trade them. I don't even know how it's gonna work when it gets into 2028 because I know the Blazers. Yeah, that's gonna be confusing. But basically, we got to get our pick back from the Bulls, and then we'll continue with the offseason. This is about to be the most heartbreaking thing I've ever done in a Blazers rebuild, but I do think I'm going to trade Shaedon Sharpe. And it may not make sense right now, but I think the starting five about to roll out next year. I just think Shaedon Sharpe probably has to be out of it, which I hate to do to him, but I think we have enough scoring. I don't think we can trade Scoot Henderson away. Yeah, I hate to do this, but we could have Kamara start in Sharpe's place. We got Debanza, Denny Avdia. I just think this makes the most sense. We get Caleb Wilson in a really good pick. It does suck. We're also trading him in division with Denver, but this is the best offer we're getting, and Caleb Wilson is going to become a really good player as well, and he's going to be less cheaper with how many players we're about to pay coming soon. I really hate doing this. This breaks my heart. I'm wearing the Scoot shirt right now. I'm not wearing the Sharpe shirt, but I'm going to do it. So Sharpe's going to Denver. Man, Q the Blazers fan being absolutely pissed at me. I totally get it. I don't blame you, but I'm trying something different for once in a Blazers rebuild. So that hurt to do, but it is done. Sharpe is no longer in the Blazers. He's in Denver now. So yeah, that was, like I said, a very tough thing I had to do right there. So now let's go to the 12th pick, but it's all going to make sense here. So give me some time to explain my reasoning. So we are going to go ahead and draft, well, I think we'll draft Sadiq White, or do we draft another guard here since we just traded Shaedon Sharpe away? That may make more sense if we did that. Costanza could make some sense, 6'9". So we'll draft him because he kind of has the versatility to play in any position. So 74 overall, player options, Reality accepts. Nagumbo, Catchings will accept those. Young and Champagny. We might decline Champagny since we just got Caleb Wilson now. So yeah, we'll decline Champagny. And then Scoot's a free agent, so we got to re-sign him, obviously. Okay. So now we got Scoot. We're not bringing back KCP or Conchar. We know that. Scoot's going to get his new deal. We're going to sign him. That's a done deal there. We're not going to bring back Champagny. I think we kind of have a full rotation now. So with Sharpe gone, this is kind of the picture. So we have Scoot and Drew Holiday still as our point guard rotation. He'll probably be off the team after this year. Maybe even trade him at the deadline using an expiring contract. Costanza is probably not going to play this year, but Kamara's at the 2 now with Debanza and Repair. We have Denny Avdia, Caleb Wilson, and Young and Klingon. So yeah, that's kind of what I have envisioned. And I think Debanza is going to take a big step in the scoring department, which is why I felt like Sharpe needed to go away, which I hate to do. And then Denny Avdia can still score as well. He's about to get an extension. So the team was just about to be super expensive. And again, definitely a very tough thing to have done there, but it is done nonetheless. So now let's go to player progression, and I feel like this next season is going to be the year we made the playoffs. So Young is still only up to a 78 overall, so I think in the future, if we're ever going to make Young like a superstar like Jokic, we're going to have like a video center around him where I just put his development traits all the way up, or whatever, or like his potential, I should be saying. This is a Madden. His traits all the way up, and then we'd have a chance to have him become the next guy. There's still a chance he could, maybe on the last year of his rookie deal, but he's always going to be our backup 5 no matter what. Klingon 85, Kamara, Caleb Wilson's up, and Repair is up. So yeah, and Denver, of course, has himself a good one with Shaedon Sharpe, who is an 88 now. Their rotation is kind of interesting to figure out, but it is done nonetheless. So let's go take a look at the team going into year number 3. So right now, 2K is pretty high in this team. Power Rank has us 5th overall, so you'd have to imagine that this team has a chance to punch themselves in the playoffs this year for the first time in however long. I can't even remember. So I'm going to go 9-man rotation, though, for this season. So we got Scoot, Kamara, Debanza, Denny Avdia, Klingon, Drew Holiday, Caleb Wilson, Repair, and Young. So if I do stop at the trade deadline to trade away Drew Holiday's contract, I will show you, but I don't think I will. I think I'll probably just keep him for the playoff run. I assume we maybe have a chance to have this year. So shot tendencies, Debanza is up to a 78, but since we did trade away Sharpe, I think Debanza needs to take a bigger role, which is what my kind of idea was behind that. I'm kind of shocked that Denny Avdia averaged 21 in the first season with his shot tendency only at 65, or I guess he averaged 20. But I'll give him a little bit of a higher shot tendency than that. So, but Debanza and Scoot are going to be the scorers, and then Avdia will be like the third option. And then Young, I guess, can give like a little bit of a higher shot tendency off the bench too. Okay. Let's sim this season. Power Rank has us 5th overall. The expectation is to finally be in the playoffs, and let's see if that expectation is going to be correct. And we have the opportunity to maybe land a Bucks or Magic lottery pick if they suck, so that'll be nice too. But so far, we're off to a rocky start, so we'll see how things finish out. At the end of year one, Jokic wins, year one. At the end of year three, Jokic wins MVP. Stokes is rookie of the year. Trae Young, sixth man in Detroit. Wemby is your DPOY. Daniels most improved in Washington. Brent's your clutch player, and Kidd is your coach of the year, and Hobson is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team. Debanza already making an All-NBA first team, which is great to see. Obviously, boosting his shots in the C-Up kind of unlocks something from him. So All-NBA first team from him already, which is awesome. So here's All Defensive first team. All Defensive second. Rookie Caleb Wilson also makes it. So it looks like he didn't play at all for the Nuggets last year, but he played and had a great impact on this team. So yeah, I mean, we got a good player for Shaden Sharp at least. Where the temp seats, we did finally make it into like some kind of postseason. This isn't exactly what I'd wanted. I would have loved to have just been in the playoffs. Denny Avdia was also extended, so that's done. And Caleb Wilson with 12, 9 from Holiday, 9 from Kamara, 8 and 9 from Klingon, and then 5 from Young with 4 rebounds and almost a block. So we get the Jazz around one of the play-ins. So let's see what they're looking like at this point. We got George, Ace Bailey, Markkanen, Boozer's there, Kessler, Collier, Filipowski, and Fred VanVleet. So a very good team over in Utah. So let's go ahead and see if we have a chance to take them down. They actually want to fix some of our minutes. So want your Holiday to start. Okay, well, I guess we'll roll with that. So let's see if we can't win this first leg of the play-in and maybe have ourselves a chance of winning in the second one. We've been down the whole game. We do take it late. Can we hang on to it? We will. 136 to 131. Huge game for the Bands with 26 and 8 and 5, or 42, 6 and 10. That was his season averages. I don't know why I read off his season averages. So 42 and 10 from that one. And now we can play the Grizzlies, who we made a trade with them earlier where we gave them Jeremy Grant. So Kamara is now back in for this game. So let's see if we can't come out here and get into the actual playoffs. We've had a good start this game rather than the last one. And if we hang on, we're going into the playoffs. And it looks like that will be the case. So 2 games in a row, 42 from Scoot this time. The Bands with 32, 12, and 13. So beautiful. And now we get to play the Dallas Mavericks, who, of course, as we're all aware, are very tough to beat in 2K. So this should be very interesting to kind of see how this is going to end up. So let's give it our best chance. Young is currently cold right now, which does suck to see. Again, I'm going to have to make like a whole new video centered just around him in the future, maybe before 2K25 is over. But all right, let's see if we have what it takes to take down Dallas. So game 1 is going to go to us. Wow, what a good start. 23 from Sexton, but 32 from Scoot. You take one on in Dallas, and they even it up. So now we just got to win at least one here. If we were able to win both and take the 3-1 lead after we just took one on their floor, that'd be wild. We could upset the first seed that I don't think it's going to happen here. So we're going to have to win game 4 to tie the series. But if we do, it becomes a very interesting game 5. So let's see if we can't win game 4, or is game 1 just kind of an anomaly. So it's close, but they're going to have the lead most of it, and they're going to go up 3-1. So rightfully so. The Mavericks, they're just one of those teams in 2K that are very, very hard to beat. So we're going 8-man rotation here for game 6, and we're going to see, I guess this is game 5, I should say. So game 5 on the road to Dallas. Do we have what it takes to push another game to happen? It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So the Mavericks are going to beat us 98 to 128. So Dallas to San Antonio, Battle of Texas in the second round, but at least we took a step in the right direction and finally got in. And the Mavericks, of course, just super unstoppable. Finals MVP goes to Cooper Flag. So Paul George is going to retire. Jimmy Butler is also going to call it. Barnes, Damian Lillard's retiring in Chicago. McCollum back in New Orleans. Man, a lot of crazy retirements here. But okay. I was trying to find out if Orlando or Milwaukee were bad. I wasn't even paying attention to them. We may have a lottery pick from them, not to mention. So Milwaukee and Orlando were both bad. So we might have 2 lottery picks here, which is absolutely insane. So, wow, look at that. 2 picks projected to be in the top 4. And that pick we just got from Denver from the Shaden Sharp trade. This could be a crazy offseason. So we're going to get 3, 7, and 11. So it would have, been lovely to land like 2 top 3 picks or something. But 3, 7, and 11. Wow. Okay. Well, if we could package, like, what draft class is this? Actually, I think this is the Baba, right? The Bad draft class or whatever. So yeah, he becomes kind of an interesting player to maybe try to trade up for with the assets we do have. I guess Paul would be fun too. So if we can get to 2, I think that'd be great. So let's see if they would be willing to maybe, who had 2 again? Let's see. It was the Warriors. So would the Warriors trade me? Let's say we gave them 3. Let's go. I want to get one of those guys at number 2. So let's say 3 and 2, and I'll give you pick 11 and maybe even Costanza might be a little bit of an overpay. What if I just give you like a future pick maybe? Or maybe I just give you like a couple picks in the second round because we give you another lottery pick. It's only 1 swap. Okay, so yeah, we're only moved up 1 spot, so I don't think we had to give up like that much. But we do get the 2nd overall pick to draft one of those guys, which I found very interesting to take one of them. So let's see who it's going to be. So again, I don't know how to say his name, but he goes number 1. So we're going to take Paul here. So he's 6'9". Him and Costanza are going to be fighting for the backup minutes there, but I'm very happy to have him out of Canada. We have the 7th overall pick, of course, as well. I think we take Gabe Neesmith and feel pretty good about that. So we have ourselves a very interesting squad kind of developing. So Paul's an 80 and 77 Gabe Neesmith. I have no idea if it has any relation to Aaron Neesmith, but regardless, and now we get to accept all these young players and Catchings and the Gumbo are free agents. But at this point, I don't think we're going to have minutes for any of them. So probably won't worry about any of them. Drew Holiday's our only free agent, and he's still asking for $33 million, so he can probably kick rocks on that regard. So we got Scoot Henderson, Kamara, Gabe Neesmith, Costanza. So we'll see what these guys kind of turn into. Repair and Paul now, and then Caleb Wilson. So yeah, we pretty much have a rotation already. We don't even really need to sign anybody. So let's just go to player progression, and we'll see what it's going to look like going into next season. So we expect Debanza to take another jump. We expect like everyone kind of here. Like, is Young going to take another crazy jump? I don't know. He was kind of cold in the playoffs, so let's see. Nagumbo Catchings are back. So Young is going to stay the same basically, 79, which is kind of unfortunate. So in a future video, as I mentioned, for sure, we're going to, look to change that. Caleb Wilson's up to an 87, so he's already turned into a really good player from the Sharp trade. And not to mention, we got a good lottery pick out of it too. So can't be too mad at the Sharp trade, even though trading Sharp was heartbreaking to do, I will say. But okay, we're going to year 4. We just made the playoffs, got bounced by the Mavericks. But if we can get ourselves a higher seed and avoid Dallas for as long as possible, not saying we're going to win a championship this year, but I think there's an outside chance we could. Outside chance. We'll see, though. So at the end of this season, Jokic wins MVP, McCoy's Rookie of the Year in New Orleans. Trae Young is your 6th man, Wemby's your DPOY, and Jaden's your most improved. Jokic also clutch player, and Mark is your Coach of the Year. So Debanza, once again, All-NBA first team, 25 points per game, great efficiency, and Scoot also makes All-NBA second team. So love to see that, too. Here's an All-NBA third team, all defensive first team, and all defensive second team. All rookie team, Paul does make it as well, coming off the bench with 12 points. And here's our all rookie second team. So a lot of young talent in the background, and we are a top 4 seed this time. We get to play the Warriors, who we made a trade with on draft night. We had 27 from Scoot, 25 from Debanza, 17 from Avdia, 14 and 8 from Caleb Wilson, 12 from Paul, 8 and 10 from Klingon, 9 from Kamara, and then you had 4 and 3 from Young Hansen, and then 4 and 2 from Ryan Repair. So we get to play the Warriors. Kind of can't wait to see what they look like at this point. So what do they have? So they have Steph still here, down to 89, and Zion is there now. So now I have Trace Jackson Davis. Not gonna lie, I think I'd be pretty upset if we lost to this team. I feel like we're way better, but let's find out. So we're up 1-0, 97 to 83. Good start so far, and we will lose game 2, and we lose game 3. And we even it up. Okay, if we would have went down 3-1 to this team, I would have been a little disappointed. Okay, so let's listen to the minute suggestions. They have Avdia at the 2, Debanza and Caleb Wilson all starting together. Kind of interesting, but if they think that could result in us winning this series, then I guess we'll listen, because the Rockets, if I saw that correctly, I think the Rockets won the first round over on the higher seed bracket, right? So yeah, they upset the Thunder and swept them 4-0. Does that mean I want to see the Rockets in the next round? I have no idea, but I don't know. We may see them. So we get to play Golden State in game 5. So let's see if we can't take, or game 6, sorry. Game 6 to beat the Warriors here to avoid a game 7. I mean, it's an older Steph. Like, I get Steph's a great player and all, but man, do I not want to see a game 7 here. We do. Okay, so we do win. 26 from Caleb Wilson. So I have to say, man, he came from the Shade and Sharp trade. He's been pretty good for us. 24, 22, 19, 14, and 8. So we get the Rockets, and then we got the Mavericks and the Timberwolves on the other side. Okay, so let's see if we can't take down the 8th-seeded Rockets, who just swept the OKC Thunder. This is going to be an interesting series. I'm going to go to an 8-man rotation, honestly. Let's do that, and let's see. They got Young starting, I just noticed, which is kind of wild. But I don't know. I guess, can we win game 1 with them? We do. I mean, we blew them out. They only scored 69 in a playoff game. Unless they clamped them up. 2-0, beat them good again. Young's getting the starter minutes right now, and we're not having any issues. And are we going to... We swept them. And Timberwolves are taking care of Dallas for us, hopefully. We avoid Dallas. I know Minnesota's always tough, too. Please take them out, please take them out, Minnesota. I do not want to see Dallas, man. I'm sick of them. sick of them in the 2K sim. They're always so annoying to beat. And I think they're going to take care of business for us as long as they don't blow a lead. Okay, now, again, Minnesota is always tough too. So I can't like start counting my eggs yet. But the fact that we don't have to deal with the Mavericks gives me a lot of promise. So again, they want Avdija to start them too. Man, I don't hate it. If they feel like this is our best rotation, and Young was starting those last playoff games, which is kind of funny. But let's see if we can take out Minnesota at this point, which they have Dillingham, Edwards, McDaniels. So they have Missy now instead of Gobert. Maybe Gobert's still here. No, but they have Banton. Okay, should be a tough series, but I think we have a chance. Game 1 is going to go to us. Beat them by 10. Good start, 31-6-9. Game 2 is going to go to us as well. Game 3 is going to go to them. Okay, let's simcast game 4, and let's try to get a 3-1 lead, please. Let's not go back to Portland tied up. Let's go steal one in Minnesota. Come on. Let's do this. Momentum's in our hands right now. Can we hang on? No, they're going to have the lead, and they're going to tie the series. Okay, well, here we go. So they want to get Kamara back in the starting 5. Got Denny on the bench now, which is interesting, but as long as we get a win, that's all I care about. So this is our chance to win a championship right now. We need to take full advantage of this while Dallas is nowhere to be seen. So we are going to barely hang on and win. So we take the 3-2 lead. Denny is now back in the starting 5, and now it is time to see if we can win game 6 on the road. Avoid a game 7 at all costs. We need to win this. Avoid that game 7. We have the lead right now. We blow them out in the 3rd quarter. Just don't blow this, and we're going to the finals. That's all I need right now. Just hang on to this. 128-118. And we got LaMelo Ball in the conference finals again, so we're playing the Hornets. So this has got to be a chance we take advantage of. I'm not too intimidated by the roster, but they got here for a reason. So can't count them out totally. So here we go. Game 1 is going to go to Charlotte. Game 2 even it up. So get 1 on their home floor. We win on ours. Yes. Can we go up 3-1? Yes. And can we beat them in 5? Yes, we can. So just like that, even though I made one of the most heartbreaking trades, I will say as a Blazers fan, trading away Shaedon Sharpe, I mean, it resulted in us winning a championship. I just felt like our rotation made more sense with him gone, which I absolutely hated. But at the end of the day, we won, and that's truly what matters. So we got really lucky to get the #1 overall pick. Was not expecting that. But I will end it there, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, future video before 2K25 is over. We got to make Young a superstar in Portland. I did a video on that with Denny Avdija. I think we do that same thing in a future video. I was just kind of wanting to see what this draft class would do for him, and it wasn't that great today. So future video, we're definitely going to do a video centered around him. But thank you all for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.